No, the Schwedish Kislev.
Wow, let's go. Make sure you got him on the camera. That's the way to take us out of the world. Hey kids, what time is it?
Time for Gezintahait. That was a great niggin. It was a special niggin for today, the Reish Chodesh Kislev, the first day of Kislev. And this song is called the Reish Chodesh Kislev niggin. That was written. It was when the Rebbe, he had a heart attack, right, in 1978. Was it 78? No, it wasn't 78. It was 70.
It was
7
after
still.
78.
It was 77. It was Tishlach.
It was after 70.
It was Tishlach.
I think.
Wasn't it Tishlach? 77. I believe it was Tishlach. 77. Right. So it was Tishlach. Yeah, and on Rosh Chodesh Kislev, the Rebbe came out and he forbrained with the people, which of course that's the main thing, is the Rebbe coming for brain with the people. Mitzvah, we have a story.
I have a story.
Oh, great.
You know, the Parsha this week is Parsha Toldos. And Parsha Toldos is about Yitzhak. And it's a story, we've told it before, but a story you're allowed to tell more than once. In 1952, at the Purim Farbrengen, it was held in the small shul on the second floor of 770. There wasn't so many Hasidim as there were later. There was a college student who was standing in the doorway. He wanted to say L'chaim to the Rebbe and get a bracha. When the Rebbe saw him, he motioned him to come into the room. The Rebbe asked him, "What's your name?" He answered, "My name is Isaac." The The Rebbe said, what's your Hebrew name? The young man said, I don't know. The Rebbe asked him, who were you named after? He said, I think I was named after Isaac, our forefather. The Rebbe replied, your Hebrew name is Yitzchak, after Yitzchak Avinu. And the Rebbe said, what was Yitzchak's occupation and service in the world? I don't know, said the young man. The Rebbe explained that Yitzchak Avinu, our father Yitzchak, his service was digging wells. The student said, I thought he was a holy man who spent all his time learning Torah, not physically digging wells. The Rebbe answered that digging wells is not so simple. And in fact, Yitzchak's inner intention was very deep. You surely know, the Rebbe told the boy, that water exists way down in the earth. And to reach it, one must completely remove the earth that is blocking the way. Now, the waters in the depth of the earth are given by Hashem, but only when the earth is removed can the creation called water be revealed. As it continues, every Jew has a responsibility to serve like Yitzchak, to help another Jew by removing the surface dirt and revealing the Jewish spark within him. And how is this done, the Rebbe said? When you walk on the street and you see a Jew, ask him if he put on tefillin yet today. And if not, suggest that he start today and continue daily. This is what the Rebbe told young Yitzchak. Hearing this, and remember, this was in the middle of a public Farbrengen, this conversation was going on. Hearing this, the young man jumped from his place. He said, what? I'm a student in university. I'm preparing for my career. Are you asking me to give that up and start getting people to put on tefillin? The Rebbe answered, I'm not asking you to give up your plans. You'll be able to continue as you are doing. Just remember that a Jew is created to accomplish a mission, to receive and to give. Furthermore, what you need to share cannot be accomplished by someone else. I, the Rebbe says, pointing to himself, am not able to accomplish your mission. Only you can be successful in the mission that you have. Therefore, you have that responsibility. The student said, but I myself don't put on tefillin. How can I influence another to do so? Despite this, the Rebbe said, which you haven't put on tefillin yet, you have the responsibility to influence another. Therefore, to accomplish your mission, it's necessary for you to start to wear tefillin. What do we have, a nigger now?
Yeah, Negan sounds great.
Do you
Want to put
tempo one, or do you want to do
want to put the
We have a
Bishvel?
nigger,
Well,
but we want
this
to
month
change-
it's starting the month of Kislev, and in this month is the Chag Geula when the Alter Rebbe got out of prison and he sang the Nigan Poda B'Sholem. How about Poda B'Sholem? Poda B'Sholem. Nafshi Dovri Kiverabi Oyubi Odi Oda B'Sholem Nafshi Mikrovi Can you turn the volume up a little bit more for the money at the bottom? There we go.
Commemorating that was when the Alter Rebbe got released from the Tsarist prison, and not just he was released because there wasn't enough evidence against him, he was released because the Tsarist government agreed that he was in the right. And what it was, he had a decree against him on heaven because he wanted to spread out the teachings of Hasidus and bring Mashiach. And there was a decree in heaven against that teaching. And that's why he got arrested. And when he was let out, it showed that that decree in heaven was taken away. And he was allowed to spread out the Hasidus. Now, there was an amazing incident that happened. The investigators from the Tsar asked the Alter Rebbe, I think 20-some questions, which he answered each one in writing in a logical, convincing manner. And the last question that they asked him, it says in the first chapter of Tanya that they do nothing except for their own benefit. And they accused him, is this what you're teaching is teaching, that we don't do anything out of unselfishness, that everything by us is selfish? And he answered them by laughing at them. And they didn't pursue it. In other words, they understood that if they would make him answer, they would really get thrown over. So they didn't pursue it. And his laughter, his happiness was what made him victorious. So I want to share a joke song, which I don't know if I'm able to explain exactly, but it's at least it's a happy song, and it's the kind of laughter, it's a laughter that we are together with Hashem. And Hashem is together with us. Hag menish kenchainik.
Hag menish kenchainik.
Freit mir in Tipik too. You know I'm out of singing. My freit mir in Tipik blue. Can I know her Lordy?
Can I know her Lordy?
Baby's got a new pair of shoes.
Baby's got a new pair of shoes.
You know I'm out of singing.
You know I'm out of singing.
My freit mir in Tipik blue. Now you and me, baby.
You and me, baby.
We both got nothing to
We
lose.
both got nothing to lose.
Why don't you join me?
Join me.
Sing my freit mir in Tipik blue. Hey, Mr. Tambourine
I
Man.
miss the tambourine man.
You can sing 'em in Yiddish too.
Sing in Yiddish too.
Why don't you come and join me?
Come and join me.
Sing my freit mir in Tipik blue. Now come on, children.
Oh, come on, children.
We're gonna have some fun.
We're gonna have some fun.
You ain't seen nothing like the Holy One. Tell me
How long?
do I have to wait? Can I get now?
Oh,
Or
must I hesitate?
you guys, you want to do a nigga now to erase that?
No, we don't need that race. That was good.
Okay. So we're ready now to learn about a level called miming. Do you remember that?
Well, I think I remember a little something about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, 1 second. Let me share this screen with the peoples, as they all be able to follow along when we talk about this, so they can also then remember it.
Right. So while Gimel Aleph is looking for the place, I'm just going to give you in general what we're talking about. We're talking about a Rebbe who comes up with his own chachma, with his own wisdom, from his level of his wisdom generator called the Koach Hamas. And how is he able to generate it? Through the depth of Das. You have the place, Mendel?
Yeah, I have the place. Here we go.
And that chachma from the Rebbe, go ahead.
Okay, so what we started with, we said that everything from then before was what? Was from up to down, yeah?
Yeah.
So from the top to the bottom. So the Rebbe comes up with the Chachma, because first he has the Chachma generator, yeah? And the Chachma generator makes a flash of an idea in the Chachma, right? And then the Chachma descends in different stages from one level to another level, from a higher level to a lower level. So that it comes from higher than the Seichel, right?
That's called the depth.
Yeah,
of Chachma.
that's the depth of Chachma. And then we have what the actual Chachma is the width of Chachma is when it's revealed, meaning the actual flash of the idea itself, right?
Yes.
And then the length of Chachma, which gives it to flow down to become a bina.
An explanation of
An explanation of the flash of the flash of the idea. Right? So bina is understanding it wider, which comes first from the depth of bina. That's how it gets through the Chachma, from the Chachma. And then the width of bina is the actual explanation. And then when it brings it down, so it can go wide explanations, but then it can also go like allegories and things like this to explain it to us to simpler and simpler. And this is going the length of the bina, bringing it down and down and down.
Very good.
Like this was like we said that King Solomon was so smart because he could bring it down and down and down 3,000 times. 3,000 times. And this,
by the way,
yeah.
I just want to add something. I don't know how, but it says that King Solomon was able to bring down the wisdom 3,000 times. And I think it was Rabbi Meir could bring it down 300 times. And I forget who it was that could bring it down 3 times. So the Rebbe explains what is this.
Mitzalel, I brought it down 1/3 of a time.
So the Rebbe explains what is this 3 every time. And the 3 every time he says is Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya. These wise people are able to bring the wisdom down all the way through all the worlds. And so we were talking about telling jokes. And you're asking, Torah is a serious thing, so what kind of jokes? But a joke opens one up to feel good, so it opens up his intellect to be able to receive high things. So one time, we were learning in yeshiva, we were learning Hatzvi-Bais, and it was talking about this thing of Solomon bringing down 3,000 examples to bring the seichel lower. And Kenneth, the janitor guy, was walking by. And Rabbi Senior asked him if he had some job he was doing for Rabbi Senior. And Rabbi Senior asked him, did you do this job? And Kenneth goes, Rabbi, I have 3 million things I'm trying to do. Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya.
3 million, that's a real level.
Huh?
That's a real level. 3
That's a
million.
real level.
Okay, so 1 second for the share it again. Okay,
So after the width of Bina, which is the details and explanation.
yeah, so all of this comes down, right? As it comes down, this is all talking about the explanation of the Rebbe, of the teacher, right? And all of this, how does this happen? It becomes because of his das, right? And his das what do you mean by das? The das is his concentration, but it's not even on the idea, it's on the essence thing that the idea is about. Yeah.
That the idea is illustrated.
Yeah.
Very good.
Because the das, the concentration, is what arouses the koyach hamaskil, the idea generator in the first place, to come out with a new chachma, with a new idea, and the bina of that applies to that chachma, the bina of that chachma. But the student, so that's the teacher giving it to the student. That's from the viewpoint of how by the teacher coming down. But the student, he hears the explanation from his Rebbe. Only hears. He doesn't start with the idea. He certainly doesn't start with the essence that the idea describes. But rather, he only starts with the bina, with the explanation, with the allegories, with the explanations. He only starts with this because the idea didn't flash in his mind. So all he has is the explanations that Rebbe gave him, right? And if he wants to understand it, he needs to try very hard and go over and over, and to in order to be able to reach this seichel. In other words, in order to reach the chachma, to reach the idea, he has to first go over all the explanations very carefully over and over, and then he can come to the idea. In other words, he can get the point.
Very good.
And until the point where he can get it all the way up to the way it is in the Koyach HaMaskil, in the generator, an idea generator. And to the point where not only that when he reaches this Koyach HaMaskil as idea generator, he can himself generate new ideas from the Koyach HaMaskil, from the generator, new ideas about this thing.
That he didn't even hear from the Rebbe.
That even the Rebbe didn't tell him. You can understand a new thing from it. So we see by the student, right, even though he's going on the same road, but this one going on the when you're going on a road to the mountain, the question is the road going up or is it going down? And the answer is yes. If you're the Rebbe, you're going down the road. If you're the student, you're going up the road. So we see by the student, it goes from lower to higher because he starts with the lowest thing, with the explanations and with the allegories, and then he reaches all the way up to the idea generator. Unlike the teacher who starts with the idea generator, and then he has an idea, and then he has a bina, an explanation, and then he brings it from up to down. Erst label, fragi. This is a good disukya. Anyways,
but
so
there's a second difference. Not just one is up to down and one is down.
So this is one difference. Later, there's going to be a quiz on this later. The second difference, does this remind you of somewhere? The second difference is that the Rav who comes up with the idea, he starts with Eimek, right? Which is like, if we remember in Das, there is the Eimek HaDas called Maimek, but for the student, and when he comes up with a new seichel on his own from that seichel, right? When he comes up with an idea, not from the original idea, he comes up with his new idea, right? Then he goes to a different power, also from Das, called Eimek HaDas.
No, a different power. The Rebbe.
Different power than Eimek HaDas. Right, the Rebbe is Eimek HaDas, which is called Maimek.
With a different power.
He has the power of Iyun. Which Iyun is Iyun. Iyun is the power of which is Bina of Bina within Bina, which is going over and over something in all of its parts, in all of its different details, over and over again, and that's how he reaches the depth, is through doing this Iyun. Bitzaliel, is that why we do so much Iyun and Chassidus, going over it over and over from different sides?
We're doing this explanation.
Yeah, and we go from different angles and all the details. Yeah. Bitzaliel, we're doing Iyun here, Eureka. Because, like we know, there's 3 levels. Iyun, right? Amokas, the Amokas HaDas, the depth of the Das, and the Mainik, which means it arouses the depths. So the teacher.
Now we're back to the Rebbe, where the Rebbe starts.
So the Iyun, the first one, the Iyun is the student, and the other ones is the Rebbe, the Amokas HaDas, the Mainik. So the Rebbe, right, the teacher, he arouses the depth of Chochmah and Bina, the idea and its explanation.
Meaning he arouses the Koach HaMaskil.
Yeah, he arouses the idea generator to give out an idea and an explanation.
How does he do that?
So he does it by connecting with the thing itself.
Right. The essence
with
of
the essence of the thing that the idea is about.
By us, the essence of the thing is God.
Yeah.
The Rebbe connects with God through his concentration.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Rebbe does it like that. But obviously, I'm going to guess it's going to be that we connect through the Iyun and Chassidus.
Through the other letters.
This is Bitzalel. He just started, and it's good stuff already.
Yeah.
And anyways, so like this is what the Rebbe does, this is called the chush, which means bonding with the desire to be involved with this thing. So like somebody who really wants to bond with and be connected with God. So this is what is because he has such a desire.
Why does he have a desire? Because it's so precious.
Yeah, because it's very precious.
So it's so precious, he has a desire. This is where the Rebbe starts from.
And like this, he awakens or he arouses the Koach HaMaskil, the idea generator, to produce a new idea, new seichel, and also the voice, the letters of Bina, of being able to understand it, all the generals and all the particulars, all the generals and all the privates, everybody. And like it's known that Chochmah, and the Bina, like we know that Chochmah and Bina are found together. We always find them. It's called them, what it calls them, the Achim Shalei Mispardim.
Two friends who are never apart. The two friends who are never apart.
That's it. The two friends that is not never separated. Yeah, and so they found together because they both have the same source in the idea generator. And through this level of das called Maimik, but we see this was the Imika das. But the Maimik, right, through the level of Maimik, both of these are brought out and they can be revealed through the mind
in the brain.
Yeah, they can be actually revealed in the brain, come out. Right, and this.
And how is it to become revealed? Because he arouses his koach hamaskil to generate them.
Yeah. So what's the difference, practically speaking, between Amokas Adas and Maimik?
Because Maimik is the bond of the Rebbe to the essence of the thing. And that arouses his koach hamaskil to produce a chachma and bina. Now, once there's a revealed chachma and bina in the brain, now he concentrates on that chachma and bina. That will be called the Amokas Adas.
Okay.
That will be the das on the revealed chachma and bina. Okay, label? Okay, label? Okay, label?
All the labels.
Okay.
And of course, like we know that the chachma stuff from the chachma brain comes out on the right side of the brain, and the bina on the left side of the brain. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is how it works. And now we go to where are we here? Okay.
We're now on Amokas Adas.
So the Amokas Adas, so that's before the sefer.
The bond to the revealed chachma and bina in the brain.
Yeah.
Should we have a niggun now to
yeah, we can have a nigga now.
clear the palate a little?
Yeah, this is not a bad idea.
Sure. I don't know. Sure.
Okay, 1 second. Let's
How about the Sheibana based on Mikdash Boogie?
This is how are we doing this one?
No? Okay, whichever one you want.
Okay, we do how should we do that? Should we do this? Should we do the trilogy?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a pick for this.
Okay, listen, Leib, I'm not judging. If that pick is the most, it's fine with me. Whatever you need. No, he needs. You just gotta get serious.
All right.
Let me hear your volume here. We need enough good volume.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah. What's up? Yehi ratzon milfonecha Hashem Elokeinu
I'm outside.
Oh, Tati, our king, why don't you do a good thing? And please return with your people. And the angels all sing.
Oh my gosh,
glorious King, won't you please return with your people? How they made you a crown, won't you come back to town? And please return with your people. Oh, Tati, our king, you know it don't mean a thing unless you please return with your people.
Hey, Gimel Aleph. Gimel Aleph.
Say one never sami gedash we make a big yameino. Say chalkeino the say rasecho. Say one never sami gedash we make a big yameino. Say chalkeino the say rasecho. Say one never sami gedash we make a big yameino. Say chalkeino the say rasecho. Say one never. Does you make your big your main no say okay no say say one never sami does you make your big your main no say okay no say say one never sami does you make your big your main no say okay no say one never sami does you make your big your main no say Say but never something does you make your me your no say okay no say say but never something does you make your me your no say okay no say say but never something does you make your
Hey, Gimel Elef.
How's this?
I see you. I'm outside.
Oh, 1 second. Boris is here. Hey, 1 second, Trevor. I go get. Wait, you guys, Boris. Boris Kavshina is here.
Wow. He's in the room. What do you mean he's here? He's actually here?
Boris Kavshina is here.
They let him out of prison.
Yeah, they must have a half Shabbos from yeshiva.
Trying to get.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Boris Kashima. There he is.
Hey!
Oh, Boris!
Hey!
Boris, get out of your bag.
Boris, you're in a bag, man. Oh.
It's like let me find my ständer so there's room for 2 arms on it. There we go. Oh, Boris, what's machst du? Oh, good to see you. Oh, no. It's good to be back from yeshiva. They give you half shot or something.
Yes.
You escaped from yeshiva.
To see you.
Okay, Boris, you'll help me. We'll learn the Chassidus together here.
Yes.
Good. Okay, so now, 1 second. Let me put this.
Okay, so after the level of Maimek, where the Rebbe arouses the Koch HaMaskil to produce a Chachma and Bina in the brain, now we have the level of Das called.
So then we have after that we have after that comes the Amokas Adas. Yeah, the Amokas Adas then connects with this because it bonds with the idea that was revealed to him.
The revealed
So
idea.
the Maimek is so there are 2 kinds of Das. The Maimek Das is the Das that arouses the idea to come from the idea generated. Right. Yeah. And then the Amokas Adas, now that the idea is revealed, focuses on this idea. So he concentrates on the Chochmah and Bina, right? That are now in the brain, right? And let me see. And because the Chochmah and Bina itself and its explanation, they come out of the object of desire itself. In other words, the Chochmah and the Bina of God is not God; it's the Chochmah and Bina about God, right? So it's only an emanation from the object of desire itself.
However,
and
you have to focus on it to be able to connect to the.
In order to connect to it, to go back and connect to the.
I would skip this parenthesis. It's just confusing.
Let's see. So where am I going to?
But Hamakas Hadas after the parentheses. But Hamakas Hadas.
I know. I'm trying to figure out which parentheses. But Hamakas Hadas is the bond to the revealed Chochmah and Bina, the way they are already revealed, the idea and its explanation are the revealed Nirchim, because the Chochmah and the Bina, right? They say, in other words, the intellect itself and the explanations, they're only emanations of the object of desire.
Like you said.
Yeah, and from bonding to the Chachma and Bina with this Hamokas Hadas, he brings out the Seichel itself, the intellect itself, and dresses it in many reasons and explanations of its various things, its various aspects. Right?
How does he do that?
So how does he do this? He does this to the Hamokas Hadas. He does
Right,
this.
correct.
Yeah. Aha.
Good job. Good job.
Ah,
Yeah, thank you, Boris. So, like it says in Pirkei Avos, in ein das, ein bina. If there's no das, there's no bina.
what does that mean?
Meaning that if you don't have this Hamokas Hadas, then you don't, which brings out the
You can't
letters of
explain it.
explanation from the idea.
Yeah.
Then you don't have a bina. You don't have an explanation.
Yeah.
And
That's what you
afterwards,
have to
then
do.
you can, once you have this, then you can dress the explanation in examples and metaphors and reasons and the allegories and etc. Right? Which and by this he brings it down to Bina of Bina, right? So that now the student can access it. And this is the das, this das, right? Is this is what Pirkei Avos is talking about. And what does it mean if there's no Bina, there's no das? Because why is it if there's no das, there's no bina? If no bina, there's no das.
The first one is, if there's no das, there's no bina.
Yeah.
Meaning, if there's no das on the chachma, then you can't have the explanation. And the second one is, if there's no bina, there's no das. Meaning, if you don't have the depth of bina, then there's nothing to put the das on to bring out the details of the explanation.
Okay. So now.
So that will be the das that connects the chachma to the bina.
Okay. So that's the as opposed to the mimic which connects the chachma to the idea generator.
Right.
Okay. These two levels of mimic and Hamokas Hadas, these are both by the teacher. In other words, one is bringing the idea from the idea generator of the teacher, and one is bringing out the bina from the chachma, from the idea of the teacher.
Correct.
But the third level, like we said before, the
iyun
third
by the
level is
student.
iyun. This is the process of nullification, right? Of the yesh, of the like he's like the yesh, like
It
the
means
tangible.
yes, it means the explanation in words and letters.
Yeah. And bringing it to the more ayin, to the nothing, to the, in other words, to the dot of the idea itself, and then even above that to the idea.
Nothing that's hidden in this explanation. That's what you achieve through iyun.
In other words, you're coming from voids and letters, and then you're coming to reach God from voids and letters. You're coming from
What
physical.
those words and letters are
Yeah.
about, correct?
Yeah, oh, very nice. Like in Hasidus, you're reading a physical page with physical letters, but from this you get to God Almighty.
Right.
Here's Mordechai. When we learn Hasidus, we get to God Almighty.
And not only that, you give him nachas. You walk in and he says, Mordechai, my son, here you are.
Oh, Mo, that's why you were trying to give that's why you had that plate of nachos by davening last week. You must have misunderstood. The tzalal said nachas, give the Eibishter nachas. Actually, Mordechai, if you ever tasted Mordechai's nachos, I think the Eibishter might want that even better. Mordechai makes
Mordechai's
a good
nachos.
he makes a good nacho. Yeah.
You should have used Hamokas Hadas as a code word.
It's mit a homemade salsa and all something. Yeah. Anyways, so this iyun is not from the teacher. This is something the student does, because the teacher, he doesn't start by the explanation. He made the explanation in the first place. Why would he start by the explanation? Right? But the iyun is the student. He starts by the explanations. He starts reading the explanations, which is a yesh, a something. It's letters and explanations and voids and allegories and stories. And he works out how to bring the ayin, the exalted nothing, that is hidden in the explanation. In other words, he tries to, through the explanation, he tries to find the point that is hidden in the explanation. This level is there's nothing that is contained in the yesh, in the tangible explanation of the Rebbe, is called the point of the explanation. Like, did you get, okay, you heard the explanation, you read the thing, did you get the point?
Boris Kashina, did you get the point?
I think I did.
Good.
Yeah, I remember I once sat on a nail and boy did I get the point.
Then what's the point?
Yeah, a little
There's a
bit.
quiz later on how to.
A little
sew a
bit.
nail.
I need a very big band-aid for this one. Anyways, where we holding you? Yeah. So this,
The
this is
point
the
of the
Yeah.
explanation is called
The ayin of the yesh.
In other words, it's not an actual ayin like Chachma is, like the actual idea is,
But it's closer to
but
that
it's
than
the
the bina.
ayin of that long, wide explanation of Bina. You reach the point to the explanation,
Okay.
which the point is not an explanation, it's an abstract point, but it's only the ayin of the explanation. It's not
It's not
a
the
real,
actual idea itself.
not a
of the-
real ayin, a godly ayin of Chachma.
So he starts with examples and details of explanation, which is the outer or lower
That's the
level of the
student-
explanation.
The student we're talking
Yeah,
about.
the student starts with the explanation.
Yeah.
Because the teacher ended with the explanation.
Yeah.
And the student starts with the explanation. This is the outer level. And from this, he reaches the point, the highest level of the explanation, in other words, the highest part of Bina, from where the explanation has come down. This process of iyun, right, it would seem is only in the student who hears the seichel, the
Like we
idea,
said before,
from his
the
teacher.
Rebbe doesn't need iyun.
Right, he came up with the explanation in the first place.
Right,
In fact, he even came up with the idea in the first place.
right.
So the student only receives, it's like a superficial thing, aspect of the idea. Like it's only the explanation, because the idea is dressed in many examples and explanations that the Rebbe brings out to dress the point so that he can give it over to the student and the student can chew on it. This is called the length of Bina of the teacher. Like we said before, that the length of Bina is when you dress the explanation in many, many allegories and bringing it down and down and down. So if the student wants to come to the depth of the explanation, he has to start with this iyun. He has to start with this iyun of going over the explanation and going over and over the explanation and trying to understand it very good. Which is the effort that he puts into getting the point and bringing it out, right? That's the iyun, is he puts a lot of effort going over and over so he can get the point of the explanation.
Which is called Bina by the student.
Which is the Bina of Bina,
So we
right?
said-
The Bina of the Rebbe, he said was
Is
what?
bringing it down. And the Bina of the student is climbing up the same rope that the Rebbe.
So in other words, it's the same part of the road, but the Rebbe goes down that stretch of road and the student goes up that same
The
stretch of
Rebbe
road.
makes the road
Yeah.
and the student
So
climbs.
the Rebbe is going down with the Bina of Bina and the student is then grabs onto this to pull himself up.
What's the speed limit?
Well, it depends.
Wait,
Depends.
what was the question?
He said, what's the speed limit?
The speed limit is according to the slower you can go, the better it is.
Just careful, you turn too fast on this mountain, you fall off the side. It's like one of those Siberian mountain roads, you know.
Good.
You know, if you sneeze, it's genug, it's gegangen, it's, you
It
know.
freezes in the air.
You have to let the donkey go. He knows how to go.
He knows what to do. And the worst case scenario, he falls off the mountain, not you. And then you get another donkey. Anyways, so don't tell the Peter story. I said this. Wait, Mom, we can do another niggin in 1 second. You're gonna join us for one last niggin?
Yeah, we need to have it.
One last
One
niggin.
last meeting.
We're actually almost done with this part, so we have one more sentence.
We're going into.
So this is the two aspects of Bina, the explanation of the teacher up to down, and the understanding by the student from down to up. And next time, what we're going to talk about?
Next time,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about how the Rebbe also needs iyun, and not only that, we're going to look into this thing of iyun, and we're going to find out. We're going to find out that the source of iyun is higher than where the Rebbe starts from. And that's why the student is able to do the iyun, because the source of iyun is higher than Maimek and Omek Adas together.
Okay, we're
And
going to sing
we'll
Boris.
find
with
out
me,
next
Yes,
time
yes.
about
Beautiful. You're going to sing with me, Boris? Let's sing a niggin. Lee, which niggin we're going to do?
I don't know, I thought you had one in
that. Let
mind.
them start singing
Let
and
me
then
think.
they'll
Let's
pick
think.
up.
How about a
Which
must
one
like
is this
Kasi
like?
Mar?
You did respect the system?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, yeah,